Hey, I'm doing what you should be doing, and that is sharing. Hey, that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing this because that's what we should do. Yes, we should. Yes. I mean, pick some of your favorite people. Go ahead. Go share it. Go share it. Go, go, go. I'm still sharing. Hold up. Do. Boom, boom, dum, do. Boom, do. Mm, mm. Do. I'm still sharing. Dun. Why? Because there's a bunch of people who need to hear this. Hey, hey, and I'm thinking about the music. Dun, 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 dun. Be-de-dee, 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 be-be-ding. Be. All right, I think it's all the people I want to tag right now. I'll text some more people later. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. Hey, how you doing? I am Dr. Anita, and welcome to Leadership Live with Dr. Anita and friends. And it's been a good month. We've been 2 weeks into this month of Leadership Lives, and the good time we've had. But for those of you all who have never ever seen Leadership Live, one, welcome. Thanks for sticking with me even through my craziness of I had more people to share with. I hope you share it too. I promise you, as leaders, we are sharers. We should be sharers, right? We should be the people sharing the things because we're leaders. It's what we do. I didn't say I was forcing info on you, but I'm going to share it with you. Do with it what you will. So, as that, we share. And so that's what I was just doing. And Leadership Live is a sharing of journeys. Back in 2019, I did it alone. 2021, I had 54 guests in 49 weeks. And here in 2022, we are delving into 12 topics in 12 months with 12 experts, even though one of the experts was me. Hey, why not? I'm an expert too. I do the things. And so I'm so excited to be back with you again. And for those of you all who don't know me, I'm Dr. Anita. I'm an educational leadership strategist, which simply means I love to work with aspiring and growing leaders to become more authentic in their leadership, to empower their fellowship, and at the end of the day, have a seriously great impact on the world. I am also the founder of The Refining Life, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Mark your calendars, ladies. September 23rd and 24th, Refining the Mind Women's Conference is coming back. I'm also the editor-in-chief and founder of Lead Like You magazine. If you hadn't read it, head over to leadlikeyoumag.com after you watch this broadcast. 4 issues are there. Issue 5 is on its way. It's been awesome. I am also a coach. I am a leadership coach. It's the thing that I do. All that, educational leadership stuff. I do it as a coach. Yeah, I do it one-on-one. It's pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite things to do. I am also, I do facilitation, I do speaking, all those things, but I'm also an author. I'm the author of While You Are Sleeping, the Perfect Children of All Ages book, as well as Stepmom, Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs, edition 1 and 2. I am a wife, a mother of 4. 2 of those children I birthed. 2 of those children I love more than they will ever know. I didn't birth them, but I thank their mother for birthing them for me. Those are my babies. I love them. They're hers too, but they're mine too. Like I take full ownership. And I am excited to be here today because I have a good friend of mine who lives a lifestyle that I live. And it's one of those lifestyles like not of the rich and famous, at least not yet. Hey, I'm going to speak it into existence. Yes, I am. Not yet. But we live a unique lifestyle, and there are many more people out there who live this life that we live. And I'm excited that we get to share some insight and some information that can help all of us this month, right? We are people who parent professional children. We parent professional children. And let me tell you, your kid may not be making big bucks, but your child is probably a professional if they're doing a lot of things. If you find yourself, come on, let's take a moment here. If you find yourself multiple nights a week at a dance studio, like 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 or 7, you might be the parent of a professional child. At least they're on their way to being professional. Come on, all right. If you have a broke best friend that's little and you find yourself having to travel for them, if you find yourself having to literally buy wardrobe, hey, come on, preach somebody for them. Not just regular school clothes, play clothes. I mean, wardrobe. Like they're going to go be in front of a camera, right? You might be the parent of a professional child. If your child is playing on a court in season and off season, if they're playing on a field, running on a field in season and off season, got you out there in tents, making snacks for them and yourself. You're tired. You don't ever want to see a track again in your life, but you're going to go back on Saturday. You might be the parent of a professional or potentially professional kid, and they are living a professional lifestyle. You are that parent and you have to live a different life. And we are talking about all those things. It's even more clues, but those are just a few. So I am going to bring my good friend onto the screen with me, because I'm not talking about this alone, honey. She is a professional. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is the beautiful and amazing Latoya. I know sometimes y'all think I'm the only one who hears that music.
No, it's in this. It's in
It's like when they come from behind the curtain and they're jamming. Hold on, I'm break to you. Welcome back. I'm so excited to get to continue to have you. So this is one of those moments where we live this true momager, roam with our kids all the time lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And you don't always get to see your friends.
No.
And then also we don't live in the same city, so you don't always get to see your friends. And so we've had the opportunity to reconnect through this. So I am excited. Latoya, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
You are so very welcome. But for those who do not know who you are, I'm going to step out of the way and allow you to introduce yourself.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Latoya Faustin. I am the executive director of a nonprofit called She Built This City. We focus on igniting interest in construction and the maker trades for youth, women, and marginalized communities in Charlotte area and expanding beyond here in the upcoming year. I am also a business owner. I have a small business called Stay Ready Consulting Solutions. We focus on bringing creative, collaborative solutions for small businesses and nonprofits. In the midst of that, on what we're talking about tonight, I am the parent of a professional. My son is a child actor, and I take pleasure and joy in helping him fulfill his dreams, exercise his gifts, and grow his talents. And so I'm excited to talk more about what that has looked like for our family. And then tonight's topic, how do we focus on the mom and the momager, make sure that we're not lost in the equation.
Ooh-wee, now that is a whole topic in itself. Oh my goodness. So one of the things I talked about, it may have been last year, it may have been the year before, but I think it was last year. Is that I came on, we talked about, and no, it wasn't Melissa. It may have been Sharika Carpenter. We talked, Carpenter Stanley. We talked about life's perfect imbalance. And it may have been Tasha Richardson. And you know what? I probably talked about this with more than one person. But we talked about the imbalance in life and how the work-life imbalance. Now I'm really thinking it was Tasha Richardson. So big shout out to Tasha Richardson, because I think this was your topic. Yes, girl. She is a parent of a professional. But we talked about the great imbalance of life. And so for you to bring up the idea of the mom and manager, and the way I phrase it is mom versus momager. Mm-hmm. Because in my mind, sometimes it's a battle.
Yes.
Who can I be today? Who am I going to show up as today? And I don't know that it always should be that way.
Yeah, no, it is definitely, you have to be conscientious and intentional about what is important to you to achieve in each individual day. I know I made a joke one time on social media that, parenting in general is a fine balance between making your child feeling like they're the center of the universe and then making sure they understand that they are not, in fact, the center of the universe.
I
respectfully.
actually
Like
remember.
you have to like you wax and wane, between those two spaces. And I feel like when your child has a profession and is excelling in a particular area, even the more so, you have to be intentional about those things. And I think not only is it about setting boundaries and teaching still character development, it's about making sure that they know they are not the center of your family either. I think it can be easy to stop, drop, and roll, so to speak, when they have something to pursue and everyone's calendar and everyone's schedule revolves around them.
Mhm.
There's time and place for that, but I found it to be important to ensure that that is not always the case. That he comes to support mommy or daddy, or that when someone else in our family or in our friend circle has something worth celebrating, we are there and we are their biggest fan. And so that he understands that it's a give and a take about that. I think that's important just as a good person. But you have
Mhm.
to be intentional, and that you don't let up. It's hard. I know you have an older one in this, but like, homework doesn't go by the wayside. Just all of those things still have to stay. This is in addition to, not a replacement of, what it
Right.
means to be a member of this family. And I think we have to be intentional about that.
Absolutely. And for us, it is this balance of not only, we have this one kid who is in deep. Like at this point, she's in deep.
Hmm.
We have another one that looks like she might real well, you know what? She was at one point in deeper than the other one because she was the
Yeah.
one booking the commercials.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like she was a baby. So like now we're making this transition. She's getting ready to go to kindergarten. But like she enjoys, mommy, when's the fashion show? When's the photo shoot? And like,
Yes.
why do you talk this way? You're 4. But then you
Hmm.
have a 24-year-old son, right? Who
Yeah.
also is the center of the universe, but is not the center of the universe.
Right.
And then there's mom and dad who struggle to find their own place in the universe outside of
Hmm.
children.
Right.
And so this whole idea of the mom,
Yeah.
or in some people's case, the dad, because they're
Yeah.
dadager, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and not losing the first part of that phrase. And I think we
Exactly. Exactly. And I think there's two parts of this. I will talk about the mom, and then I will talk about the person, because I think there's even a greater distinction we should make. You do wear the hat of parent, in general. And I remember that one time, last year, we spent a lot of time traveling for acting and modeling. And then we went somewhere just for vacation. And I didn't think he paid attention to those things. But like, he said specifically, "Oh, we're going to go on here. We're going to go this place. And it's not about acting, right? It's not about acting." I'm like, "No, this is just a fun thing." Because I always, when we go to California, I make sure we visited family, make sure we went to, amusement parks and things of that nature, so that the trips aren't just acting centered. But he saw that, and was like, "This is a trip where I don't have any obligations." And so
Mhm.
making intentional connections outside of that life has been very important for us. But then also, just who is Latoya outside of the mom in the momager, and what is important to me, that brings me sanity, that brings me peace, that helps me show up for him 100%, because it's stressful out here in these momager streets. And if I don't get a chance to work out, if I don't get a chance to have me time, if I don't get a chance to get my favorite Vietnamese food that he won't touch because he doesn't like it, like if I don't prioritize those things that make me happy, fill my bucket, to use socio emotional intelligence language that they're using in school now, that's my bucket filler, then I have nothing to give to him when it's times for patience that he needs. There's nothing there to tap into. And I've seen that happen. So I have to be very, very intentional about the Latoya before the mom in the momager relationship with my family.
Right, right. So I did something recently, and at one point in time, I will say, I was I started to believe I was being selfish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to audition for a show. And so and it was a show that I wasn't doing with my daughter. So we've been doing these 3 theatrical ballets together since 2018. Like we were both on the cast, so we would both be at rehearsal. that very first year, even the baby was in the show.
Yeah.
Like, what? I think he went on the stage at 8 months. Like, where are you? But like, so it wasn't
Family is
selfish
fair.
because we were
Yes.
all in the show. So we all had rehearsal. We would all go. Like, it was great. And then we did it again together. So we started with Pride Land, and we did Prince of Egypt. My daughter and I are together. All was well.
Yes.
And I found myself in 2019 doing a show. It felt selfish.
Yeah.
I did Memphis community theater, but it was still a lot of time. And
Mm-hmm.
then I did another show. I did Heavenly Blues and Jumpin' Jazz, but it was like 3 weeks. Like, literally, we learned the show in 3 weeks. We put it up. Done. It got me my foot. We were good. And then I decided to audition for Dreamgirls. And that was at the end of 2021. And
Yeah.
our auditions were in December. Show was supposed to go up in February. Show is going now. Like, our last show is Wednesday. Will be show 8. And I'm so excited. Well, I'm excited because I'm excited about doing the show, but I'm also excited because, we will have completed a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been dynamic, but for like 5 months now, I've been in rehearsal, like
Yeah.
heavy. And
Yeah.
I enjoy, like, I love my castmates. We cut up. When I say we cuts up, we cuts up. We work hard. I know I've lost weight. We don't have a scale right now, so I can't prove it, but I know I've lost weight. Big shout out to Gina Tate. She works us out. We sweat every night. Every night
Believe
we're
it. I
sweating because
believe
it's a heavy dance show. It's a heavy dance show. It's a heavy song show. But it feeds me so much. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm being so selfish because I'm enjoying my time away from home. I'm enjoying all of these, some new people, some old people, but I'm enjoying this. And I remember that this is the life I wanted.
it. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, Renita, while you are so happy right now, what are you doing to your people? And I had to get some reality checks
Yeah.
that I was, even though I am not at home as much because I still work full time, I still work part time, and I do rehearsals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not at home as much. We know this is going to come to an end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but these new people aren't leaving my life either.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It is very much okay. You asked, like, what am I teaching my family? What am I showing them? You're showing them how to balance, life. You're showing them how to still prioritize themselves. I think especially for women, what you just described. If you were the dad in the situation, no one would blink an eye.
They wouldn't question it.
No. And so I think that I prayerfully hope that we've evolved as a society that, it is okay for your daughters. It's actually empowering for them to see you step away from the role of mom because they're in good hands with
Oh,
dad and grandma, you know?
oh.
It'd be different if you were in a situation where they didn't have, the support and other loving people that cared for them outside of that. Because as a co-parent myself, one of the things I had to realize is that when he is not with me, I am blessing the world to have a chance to engage with him, other people. It's like, and I never thought about it from that perspective, is that he now gets to form memories with, dad and grandma and Uncle Tony, these people that we love and care about, that if he spent every single minute waking hour with mommy, he would not have gotten. And those memories, those times, those connections for his own mental health is important. And so if we step back, though momentarily for a season, it is okay because once they are gone and out of the house, you're left with you. And if you
Right.
haven't taken the time to explore what makes you happy, what fills your bucket to advance your career, personal life, hobbies, whatever it is, you're gonna be looking like what is it, boo boo the fool? You're
Beautiful.
like that's when you see, in my opinion, I'm new at this. So anybody on here check me. But that's when you see parents who, their children have grown and gone beyond, and then they're still following behind, and then child has to push parent away. And I don't think we ever want to be in the situation where they can have a conversation about, all right, mom, I think I got this now. But you don't want them to have to be like, all right, mom. You
So you
want to make
don't
sure
get a
that
life.
they exactly, it's a part of helping them develop their independence as well. But I think bigger than that, Renita, you're modeling for your daughters how to prioritize themselves and their needs, which we as women are not taught. We are taught that that's selfish. We are
Mhm.
taught that that should not come first. And if we don't take care of us first, who else will? And we have to teach them that. And you're doing the best way of teaching them that.
Well, thank you kindly, because let me tell you, my poor husband, I felt sorry for him a few times, just a few, not a lot, but a few times. He was like, "So, y'all going out to dinner again, husband? If I don't eat right now, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna wreck everything. I'm gonna cut everybody. I'm gonna wreck everything. I've been dancing in heels for 5 hours. I'm
Yeah.
hungry." And he was like, "Okay, see you when you get back." But also understanding that it's okay to still have passions and
Mhm.
fulfill those. And
Right.
it was one thing when I was going to get monthly massages, like that was a thing. I had
Yeah.
to let it go. I had to make a choice. But honey, that saved lives. I would come home, I would be a whole different person.
Hmm.
Like, you must have seen Miss Sandra today. I did. I did.
And I
Hmm.
think that's the key though. I think again, as moms, as women, we've been taught either directly or indirectly that we don't come first. Putting yourself first is selfish. It takes away from your family, but we cannot give our best to our family if we are not rested, feel loved, whatever that looks like, need that time alone, and that's okay.
Right.
I think I've seen a meme to that extent around, date night is important. Girls' night is important. Family night is important. Me night.
Me night.
And there are seasons in your life where you can't do that. When they're super
Wow.
young, when their busy season picks up, you just can't. And
Hmm.
that's okay. But when there is a season or a moment of rest, or can you cultivate that season? Take it. I think it's a part of, again, helping your children to understand how to be well-rounded individuals, and to how to support someone else's endeavors. I know I graduated from a leadership program,
I no, not just one.
a couple.
I saw two certificates. I said, when and where does she have time for this?
And I graduated and we could have a plus one. And I was trying to figure out childcare. I was like, who can watch while I'm there? And I just emailed the organizer. I said, can I bring my son? She was like, absolutely. They made him a special meal, like chicken fingers and mac and cheese. They had his little fruit cup and his name and everything. They made it special for him, and he got to see mommy achieve something, which is, at his age, he hasn't gotten to see that part of my life. He doesn't see me as the leader of this organization, as the business consultant. I'm
Okay,
mommy.
I have a visitor.
Hi, visitor.
Say hello to the world. All right, you need to go back to the couch, okay? I'll come check on you in a few minutes, okay? But mommy wants some grapes. Oh no, not right now, baby. It's done.
My
Go
little
put
visitor is under the desk asleep right now, so he would have joined her just a few moments ago.
right. I knew that was gonna happen, but okay. So this is why it's okay. One, this is my show. Who gonna check me? Two, that's a part of the life.
It is very much a part of the life. I
And
just knew we were going to have a cameo, but he's asleep.
if you had heard Ryan's voice, we would have gotten a cameo. But that is a part of the beauty of having opportunity to share whatever,
Hmm.
um, to create your own things and be able to do it your way. No, I typically don't have visitors here in the studio at this time. But my real life, I have visitors all the time. They come to meetings, they come to meetups. I
Yeah,
try to it's the external meeting outside of the business. Sometimes I try to make sure they don't show up, but hey, if they do, they do. This is who I am.
right.
But I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
So your mom and your momager, how do you nurture her?
How do I nurture? Um, a few things. I had to tap back into what was important to me. When they're little, you go through a season where you really can't focus on yourself. Like it's you're just trying to keep this little person alive. And I don't know,
Hello, somebody.
I don't know how they let me leave the hospital with you, but here we go. Let's figure this out together. But once we got to a phase where he was a bit more self-sufficient, I had to tap into who is Latoya now.
Hmm.
What is important to her. And for me, it was my health and wellness, mental, spiritual, physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not prioritized like taking trips away or things of that nature, but my daily fitness practice, I have a weekly mental health practice that I've had to prioritize. And even gratefully, I'm out working in a space where I can control my own schedule, where I don't have meetings before a certain time so that I can prioritize those things, in my life. I may not get to go on the long vacation because I do save that for when he's booked, but like
Right.
I can cultivate it. My happiness is daily. I'm not pinning up energy and stress, waiting to when I can release it. I get to release it daily. And I realized that that was the most important thing to me. I
Okay.
just did a mud girl obstacle course
I
in my
saw
horse.
that. You are a bad kid. I was a mud girl.
I'm a mud girl, pink army hashtag. And it was just so much fun. I had never done anything like that before, but again, making my fitness a priority and having goals and community around that is something that is now important to me, to make it a priority because it was there for a while, but again, life change transitions, COVID. Every time something happens different in your life, you have to take a step back and then come to yourself to say, what's important to me now? What do I need to cultivate my happiness? And those were the things for me. With his schedule, at the drop of a dime, we can be hitting the road. And so the other thing that's important to me is doing nothing. Like, since we're in college, I was in everything. You were
Yeah.
in everything. It was all over the place. And so doing nothing doesn't come naturally to me. Like I am always busy doing something somewhere, volunteering. And I've had to be intentional about my rest and days where nothing is on the calendar and being okay with that. And savoring normalcy, a lazy day. Let's
Oh.
keep on our pajamas. We don't have to do our hair today. Like those things have become priceless to us. And so when we have them, prioritize. We do a thing when we're able to is when we have no rush days. And we'll label it. This is a no rush day. That means we wake up when we want to, do it when we want to. We connect. What do you want to do today? I want to play soccer. I want to play with my Legos. Cool. I want to take a nap, and I want to watch this show. So here's how we're gonna make this happen.
This is what I would like. This is what you would like.
So while
Okay.
you playing Legos, I'm a nap. You gonna give me this
Right.
hour? You like this is how we make it happen, and it's just I savor those because
Mhm.
at the drop of a dime, it could all change.
Right.
So that's how I focus on the mom and momager. It isn't quite extravagant yet. I am finding the things that are important to me. I like to write, so I'm digging into that again. But rest, the nap ministry, we talk about like
Mhm. Mhm.
they're precious to me.
Please, honey, okay, so let me tell you this. I forgot. No, I didn't, because I've loved a nap for a while. But the the urge to prioritize a nap, like I realized once we hit the end, like right before the show started, and we had the runs of rehearsals,
Hmm.
and we had to go, go, go.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, yes. Come first, dear. Okay, my cup is right on the table. Go ahead, go drink out there. We had this like it was like a Monday through Thursday show started on Friday.
Hmm.
So show started on Friday, and go look on the table, child. If I didn't take a nap at some point, I mean, literally, my husband cracks up because I will take a power 20. Okay, if I didn't get at least 20 minutes of shut eye and had to go to that rehearsal, my patience
Hmm.
probably would have been real thin. But my body told me that.
Yeah.
I've learned, especially at this age, you better listen to this chick because she will give out on you.
Yes.
You will start lashing out. Like people get hangry. I don't know what you call it when you sleepy and angry, but I am her. And I gotta get some rest. Like
That's me too.
even if it's a power 20, I'm serious. 20 minutes changes lives.
Hmm.
It saves lives. I will go somewhere and I will lay completely down, put on a whole blanket for 20 minutes.
I love it. I
I
love
have
it.
to have it, and that's something like I cherish. Oh, a day when I don't have to go take these kids to school. That's my favorite day of the week, whatever day that is, because I don't have to get up that early. And then I get to my work stuff, but I'm very fortunate to be able to work from home.
Yeah.
This was definitely not always my lifestyle because I used to be an in-school educator, teacher, principal. You had to be there early and be on 10 all day
Right.
long, especially as a principal, because my job was to motivate everybody.
Yes.
But to be able to have choices in how I show up or how I don't show up. Like sometimes I just have to be camera off. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it today. But I'm gonna be fully participatory, but
Yeah.
you can't see me. Because what I'm not gonna do is come out these pajamas. I've been out of pajamas for a long time. I can't do it today, but watch. I'm about to be your favorite person at the meeting. Yes, I
I
but
love
I
it.
think about me. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, you don't have to wait until you turn 35 to figure out that that's okay. You do not have to have a 26-year-old child to
Yeah.
figure out that that's okay. You don't have to have been married 52 years to figure
Yeah.
out that that's okay. Taking care of you is taking care of everybody else.
Yes.
Mm,
Absolutely. Rule number one.
hmm So I'm gonna ask this question, and then I'm gonna let you bring up whatever else you want to bring up, and then we're gonna go. I realize I'm
Okay.
already. So when you are off and away, because you do red carpets and on movie sets and on auditions and on wherever else y'all go, photo shoots, classes for him, da, 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 da. Even though you made it look like you got this time, I know what it really is. So while you are in these moments, how do you still nourish you even while having to be actively in the momager role?
That is an excellent question. And my initial response is, in those moments, I don't know that it's always possible. That is why the reserve of when those moments didn't come, like guarding those times in my day, like morning, evening. Um, what? I had a really good friend that taught me this, and I actually saw it myself, is that family vacations are not really a vacation for mom. So she would take herself on vacation ahead of time. So if their family was going to Florida for the week before, she would take some days off to go to the spa or to take days for herself, because when you are in family mode, mom really doesn't get to rest. So she bookends the vacations with, this is my day before we go, and this is my day when we get back, so that I know I'm not selfish with me. When I'm with you, I can give you all of me because I know I have my me time coming. And I would say that is similar to how I operate on a day to day. Is that, for instance, Monday is our long day. He has acting class and capoeira practice right after school.
Right.
So I know that Monday is my slow day at work. I intentionally do not schedule a whole lot of meetings
Because
on
you're
Monday, and it's my late day,
You're
because
with
it's like,
them.
I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need this reserve for a little bit later. So because contrary to popular belief, sometimes especially for Black women, we can't do everything. We can't, and it's okay to say we can't. Well, let me take it back. We can do, but it's not everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need to be full mom, hey Tavia, I saw that pop up. Um, if I am in full mom mode, I learned this during COVID. If I'm in full mom mode, I cannot also be in full executive director mode. Something's gonna have to give.
Right.
So that's me. Maybe I compartmentalize more than most, but I learned that early, because what I found myself doing when I was trying to do both at the same time, I was short with him because I was mad at a staff member, or a partnership didn't work, or I had a deadline I needed to meet. And so I was short with him for no reason. And I was apologizing every day, like, Mama, sorry, baby. This has nothing to do with you. And so when I realized that, I learned to articulate, hey, mommy's head is still at work right now. Can you give me about 10 minutes? I'll come back and I'll answer you. Like I just had to start to narrate what was going on in my life so I could separate for him. And now I have distinct boxes. He knows, like, this is my work time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find something else to do during this time. And gratefully, he's old enough to understand that. But then equally though, he has his time that he knows I'm not on my phone doing stuff. That was our deal, is that like, if you give me my time to get this done, you can then have your undivided attention once I'm finished, or if we start the day that way. So I don't know if I answered your question directly, but I
You
build up
did.
reserves, throughout the time. And then I realize that I cannot wear multiple hats successfully. I can only wear my one. And when I have to wear the one, I communicate to the other. Like, it's the hat I got on right now. I need to focus on this hat.
I love the idea of talking to your other selves and like, look, we're not doing this right now. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I don't care. I don't care if you got that email. I'm writing
Exactly.
it
I was
right
about
now.
to say, I learned that I cannot check my email before I drop them off at school.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
I learned that because, again, I was snappy and mad for no reason. Like, to him, it's like, no, we get undivided mommy time just to get us there on time. Then it's
Right.
literally, I sit in the parking lot for like 15 minutes, like, all right.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for telling me I'm not the only one. I sit outside of pre-K for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah. Text
I
it,
am
email it,
doing it.
follow it up.
Anybody from my job who gets an email before 8:30, know that it came from the pre-K parking lot. She is typing. And they don't ever say anything to them. God bless them. I know they've seen me sitting out there. It's like, I need this to get done now.
Yeah.
I need this to get done now. And it does. But I have to think about all my selves.
Yeah.
And they have different seats. And
They do.
sometimes you got to call a different person for it, right? Like you gonna come me, just the one
Yeah.
that's just me. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
If your name is not Renita by itself with no titles, you
Yeah.
stay seated. Even Dr. Renita, ain't asked for you. Just me. The me that was just me without anything else. She didn't have to go to school. She was already
Mhm.
her. And I think we even lose her with we forget who she is with no
Okay.
titles whatsoever.
Yes.
And she's a cool chick if you get to know
Yeah,
her.
absolutely is.
Or she's a neglected chick and she got an attitude. Like she has an RBF like none other. She is mad because you ain't been paying her any attention.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
So true.
absolutely. So I probably should have called this the me versus mom versus momager because they
Yeah.
are three different chicks, even though they may be three in one.
Absolutely.
Three different people. So, is there anything else you want to make sure that we let the people know tonight? In thinking about this subject and maybe even a challenge to push them forward into their week ahead.
I think we've covered all major topics. I would just again encourage, whether your child is a professional or not, mom is a momager. Man, I remember during COVID, I put out a post that says, if you have successfully managed you and your child's schedule, over the last several months, add project management to your resume, because it's something that is often overlooked. The skill of momming and momming effectively is underappreciated. And
Yeah,
so
I
whether
think
your
that's
child,
resume. Mom.
please, it should be a job title, because it is, you don't ever uh, clock out of that one. So just ensuring that you make time for yourself, learn your triggers,
Mm-hmm.
learn what fills your bucket, what takes away from your bucket. And then we didn't talk much about the village in this one, other than like when you have to go pursue other activities, or you choose to go pursue other activities, but lean on that village. You know, you need it, your child needs it. They deserve to have relationships with other people in your life. And you don't have to be the center of that. Let the other people pour into them as well. And I think that is how you find the balance through this beautiful season of motherhood. The seasons will change, as they get older. This is a precious one. Enjoy what you can. Make the most of those many moments, when you're in the car, because you spend a lot of time on the road. Those aren't just passing times. You can make those moments count too. So that would be what I would leave with everyone.
That's good. That's good. Well, Latoya, thank you for another great week. We only got one more.
One more.
One more. And so it's going to have to be good because these 3 weeks have been amazing. We got
Yeah.
to bring the fire next Monday.
We need some topic suggestions. Anybody?
Drop it in the chat. We are taking suggestions. But no, this is really good. I think this is something that is an ongoing conversation, not just as moms, but as women.
Absolutely.
Who nurture anything.
Anything.
Anything. In women in leadership, period. You're nurturers. You're nurturing those in your fellowship. You really are.
Absolutely. The
You
good
are
ones are.
right. Maybe we'll talk. We might have to take a hat off and put a hat on next week. But thank you, everyone who's watched tonight. I hope, whether you're a mom or not, if you're a woman or not, and you're in leadership period, I hope that you found so much knowledge, so much wisdom from this conversation. Know that I love you, and my encouragement is that you always, always, always keep your leadership all the way live. We'll see you next week. Bye.